Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being there in this edition of the news. My name is Mahngeh Vernasius Fola. The 33rd edition of the International Day for the Protection of the Ozone Layer was commemorated yesterday in Yaoundé. The ceremony was patronized by the Minister of Environment and Nature Protection and Sustainable Development, as Bango Francis tells us from Yaoundé.
It is with this ceremony at the Yaoundé Chamber of Agriculture that this year's International Day for the Protection of the Ozone Layer was being commemorated in Cameroon. Under the chair of Hele Pierre, Minister of the Environment, Protection of Nature and Sustainable Development, this 30th edition was celebrated under the theme, Caring for All Life Under the Sun. Cameroon, through these, thus answers favorable to the Montreal Protocol of 1987, which aims at reducing the use of climate-hostile chemicals following the discovery by scientists of a hole on our planet's ozone layer in 1980. Our country, like 196 others in the world, is doing much to fight against the depletion of our ozone layer.
We know that our country has a program, Mabrut, for our activities. You know that now, with global effort made by humanity, I think at our level, we can say that that's a success for us. Because the last time we have succeeded about 20%. And we think that from now up to the middle of the century, you can get a total satisfaction.
This rich ceremony was particularly animated by some very dynamic youths from 5 secondary schools in the nation's political capital who marveled the crowd with their outstanding knowledge on the subject matter, this through a competition in brain trust, drawing, arts and singing. The youths understood clearly the fact that the battle to protect Earth was not an affair only of the state, but something that should involve everyone, and they are already taking the message around.
Actually, the way we also fight is we sensitize our peers, because we know that through sensitization we can reach out more people and all the other youths, so that when their parents will go to buy air coolers, refrigerator, or the rest, they can advise them on what to buy, so that they'll buy they think that the air coolers that good quality and will not contain the chlorofluorocarbon which deplete the ozone. We tell them, we have to tell them about what the ozone layer brings to us, that is how it protects us, because they have to know that if the ozone layer was not there, all of us would have been suffering from skin cancer by now. So we have to take action now.
The exercise to recruit 1,000 young teachers in the science and technical fields in Cameroon is gradually coming to an end. An operation which has known diverse interpretation by the public has experienced a number of difficulties and challenges, all of which are being addressed, as we hear in the following report. Following a decision taken by the government of Cameroon to recruit 1,000 young bilingual graduates in technical and scientific fields, the exercise is well on course. While others hold to the fact that it is a kind of a white elephant project, others have taken the initiative to try their luck, given that the selection will be done through a study of the candidates' files. With this, it is certain that compiling the necessary documents will not be an easy task.
On nous a fait poireauter depuis le matin.
Like this young man, they have been at the point of depositing their document, but since morning, like he says, those to sign them are not on seat. The big question here is the bilingual nature of the recruitment, which has known diverse interpretation by the public. It does not really mean the candidates should be bilingual, like this young man.
I will try myself to do so.
When we met a reliable source at the governor's office who elected anonymity, he gave us the bilingual characteristic of this recruitment. It does not imply that candidates selected will have to give their lessons in both French and English. On the contrary, if there are 50 places for physics teachers, for example, 25 will be for those from the Anglophone regions, while 25 places will be reserved for Francophones. The source indicated that they have had such difficulties raised by candidates, but they have helped to clarify such misguided concept. They have equally been confronted with the question of how included the physically challenged Cameroonians are to this exercise. From the communique, it involves all Cameroonians inasmuch as they fall within the framework required. It should be indicated that those who will be selected shall be posted to the regions where teaching staff in the science and technical subjects are most needed. The one-time much talked about low-cost housing fashioned for Cameroonian senior civil servants are said to be abandoned to nature. Jallo Buba visited the site, and this is what he brought back for the news.
The sick houses in Douala are in a advanced state of dilapidation. Its surroundings have become a good habitat for rats and snakes despite their unfriendly attitudes to humans. This is in Douala, the economic capital of the country, where lodging facilities are fast becoming as scarce as dog tears. The question on many lips is what is happening with these then prestigious residences reserved for the selected privileged few. Who is responsible to make sure they reflect the purpose for which they were created? No one seems to be ready to make any statement on this, especially the occupants. Attempts were made by this reporter to get in touch with the authority in charge, but were made to understand that the lady in charge is on a mission. We are looking forward to get to her for her own part of the story, which is of great interest to many in the days ahead.
In our future story, student journalist Raima Tusi tells us about the activities roadside calls, normally known as call box. Apparently, business is becoming difficult given the many bundles offered by mobile telephone network companies to their many subscribers. Here is her report.
The activities of calling and credit sales, commonly called call box, seem to be in serious difficulties in Cameroon, particularly in Douala. The multiplications of offers from various operators has discouraged more and more subscribers to call in the call box, making them to prefer calling from their mobile phone.
I
really do not see the need for me to go calling at the call box. The packages offered by different operators come back to me cheaper from my mobile.
The 4 network operators, especially Nestle, has offered the possibility to its customers to call at cheaper prices through their mobile phone. According to a promoter of callbox, with the multiplication of packages by the operators, this has made them lose more than 90% of customers who come to call. However, the only thing that brings them income is so as to have more income. These vendors wish that their operators should stop the unlimited package for them to have customers as before.
Over in the East region, parents whose children are of school-going age have been told to send them to school before they are being arrested and imprisoned. The senior divisional officer for Lom and Jerem Division was speaking recently in a gathering with parents of the Betare Oye mining area, as we hear in this report by Folan Miduke.
School, they say, is a good thing. It is the best thing any good parent can give to a child. This philosophy is contrary to these youngsters of school-going age at the Betare Oya area of the Lom and Jerem Division, East region of Cameroon. They are supposed to be in class like others. Unfortunately, they have resorted to be fending at this mining area that has abundant natural resources. In fact, it has attracted a whole lot of people with the hope of changing their financial situation. A disturbing issue here is why most parents will prefer sending their children to this area instead of asking them to join classes. This is the worry the senior divisional officer, Yves Bertrand Awuno Alino, wished to address in this gathering that brought together villagers and other dignitaries. He has called on them to do so without delay before they are being arrested and sent to detention, adding that it is the right of a child to be educated by the parent. If the situation continues like this, what then will be the future of these young ones who are the leaders of tomorrow?
Still in that part of the country, Ngura in the Lom and Jerem Division is an administrative unit said to be virtually cut off from the rest of the region during the rainy season. The people say this poses a serious threat to their developmental endeavors, as Philip Sote tells us.
This is just part of the nightmare that inhabitants of this timber-producing region of Cameroon have to go through when they have to travel The East region, which is the largest in Cameroon in terms of land surface, is home to a wide variety of timber species and other natural resources. It is also a region whereby moving from one rural area to the other is no trifling matter. Such is the case with this stretch from Gimwa Yamgwa to Ngura, 38 kilometers long. But going through this stretch, one has to be ready to forego several other engagements just in case the vehicle gets stuck here. According to inhabitants of this area, a contract to repair this road was awarded 4 years ago, but the contractor has never shown up for work. They are, however, consoled by the fact that traveling from Betwa, 80 kilometers to this area is tired, but the remaining 38 kilometers to reach is quite a problem. Ngura, it is quite a nasty experience, they say, and they hope that something should be done soonest. Their appeal, therefore, is that the contractor who had to do repair work be either brought to book, or if the contract was cancelled, they at least have a right to be informed.
In religious news, Bishop Robert Bellarmine celebrates 4 years of Episcopal service in the Gallican Apostolic Church. He became priest at the age of 26 and uses this opportunity to thank God for his 30 years of priesthood. Subiru Madina sat through the celebration and brought back this report.
Celebrating his 4 years of Episcopal service, Monsignor Robert Bellarmine organized an anniversary church service at the Gallican Apostolic Church, Diocese of Nkonsamba, Our Lady of Angels Parish, situated at the Tegao neighborhood in Douala 3 subdivision. This was celebrated on Sunday, 17 September, in the presence of parishioners and some well-wishers who came to witness and take part in the celebrations. This began with the usual Sunday service with the reading of the Holy Scriptures. The Gallican Church, which is part of the Roman Catholic Church, is derived from the medieval Latin name Gallicanism and equally apostolic because they are followers of Apostle John, one of Jesus' disciples. Everything being equal, the only difference with the Roman Catholic Church is that they are allowed to get married. Monsignor Richard Brisboom, who came to participate, appreciated and thanked God for the life of Monsignor Robert Bellarmine.
Come to express my communion with Bishop Robert Bellarmine because God have given him more days again. We have to celebrate with him his birthday as a person, his birthday as a priest. Come to express the communion of the National Catholic Apostolic Church with him, to say thank you to God for this marvelous and wonderful servant he gives to the Church of Cameroon, he gives to the Church of the world.
The 76-year-old servant of God continued the celebrations with his faithfuls with the popping of champagne, sign of sharing and togetherness, to give thanks to Almighty for his life.
We wish him more grace in the Lord's vineyard. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this edition of the news. Stay connected to programs here at the DBS Television. We will be back again for what would have made news same time tomorrow. Have a blessed day.